Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Metal Sharpens Metal. My name is Daniel,
And I'm Grant.
our 80s metal news correspondent.
Time for some 90s metal.
90s metal, that is.
It's the 90s.
So, today, tell us about who we're listening to.
So today, Daniel, we're going to listen to a power metal band that started in the 1980s, but the album we're going to listen to was in 1998.
Oh, that's pretty
A
late.
little closer to your neck of the woods there, Daniel.
True. We're growing closer to modern metal every day.
Whew, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't think this is going to sound like very modern.
It will not. The point of this band, Blind Guardian, they've often been called the storytellers or referred to as the bards by fans. So this album was a concept album that they based all of the songs off of the Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien.
I work with a bunch of nerds.
If you like Tolkien, you like Lord of the Rings, you would like the Silmarillion if you were super duper patient. But this band took the Silmarillion and they turned it into an album.
So, I do like Lord of the Rings. I have some of his art as well, but I've never read the Silmarillion. So, this is going to be news to me. I'm excited.
What's beautiful about the Silmarillion is it starts out with a creation story, which matches Genesis 1 and 2 so very well. I mean, yeah, and the fall to include chapter 3. And you have Morgoth, or Melkor, equivalent to Satan, who is cast down, who introduces discord into the song. And that's where all of the evil and the corruption comes from.
Melkor.
So this band starts the album off with Sauron and Melkor talking to one another, speaking of a recent defeat in battle that they had against the forces of good.
Is that because it's more metal to start with the bad guy?
There's so much more bad guy stuff. It's phenomenal. But as Christians, you can know that Eru Iluvatar, aka God, has a plan, and he's a storyteller, and he's got a plan for the earth, for the king to be given all things and to be consummated and good triumphs over evil. Not that it's allegory, because definitely Tolkien hated allegory. But
Wait, I thought Aslan was God.
so let's listen to the first song,
First two,
which has no singing in it. You gotta love a track with no singing. And I'm not talking metal screaming. I'm talking talking.
All right, let's check it out.
So there's just battle. There's just a battle starting it off.
It's definitely a battle.
People dying. Elves. Elves and demons.
Is that a siege tower?
Oh yeah, they're
Going
coming to fight Melkor.
And who's they?
The Valar and the elves. Actually, it might have just been the elves.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and reread the Silmarillion. But they trounce him, and he is defeated. Great voice acting, including the door squeak.
Good soundscapes, yeah. Footsteps.
The field is lost. Everything is lost.
So this is
Ground
Sauron
has
talking.
fallen from the sky. The towers in ruins lie. The enemy is within, everywhere, and with him the light. Soon they will be here. Go now, my lord, while there is time.
There are
There
places below.
And you know them too. I release thee. Go. My servant you'll be for all
There's
time.
Morgoth.
As you command, my king.
Then Sauron flees.
I had a part in everything. Twice I destroyed the light and twice I failed. I left ruin behind me when I returned. But I also carried ruin with me. She, the mistress of her own lust.
There it is. This song is called Into the Storm, where Morgoth is talking about the desire, the lust for the Silmarils, the precious gems, with Ungoliant, Shelob's great-great-grandma.
I get great Jima involved.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. Ooh, I love that with the triplets. Oh man. Lord, I mean?
I don't know. That's what the internet says that line is, but it's always been confusing to me.
Interesting.
But this song just starts out so fast and powerful, like just
I love that.
Just like the Silmarillion does when Melkor goes crazy. It makes you think, honestly, the desire, the lust for the Silmarils, like this could be Gollum speaking of the precious. Sweet how the darkness is floating around.
Oh man. Yeah, this is such an epic chorus.
There's just like unity in these dark forces led by Melkor and Ungoliant to steal the Silmarils and eat the trees of their light. It's wild.
Metal. Oh man. Oh, this is cool. This is like... This sounds like a Dream Theater passage or something.
It does! That's right! That's the precursor to all that kind of music. It's epic power metal.
Well, they did have stuff earlier than this, but... Yeah.
Facts.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the big rolls on the toms. This part, this pre-chorus part, that is a great move.
1,000% sure that line could be anything.
The second one sounded more like that.
Hear that? Like it sounds like it's in a Renaissance festival or
Yeah.
something, you know? They have a lot of running.
Oh, it just...
Yep, it went to the next song. That's Sauron, or not Sauron, that's Morgoth screaming. There's like 4 or 5 songs that are just like 20 seconds long of
Nice.
talking or screaming.
Oh no, I love that. You have to do that for a concept album. You have to have stuff about that. Dude, yeah, that was sweet. So I'm hearing vibes like you said power metal, but I'm also hearing like kind of progressive metal.
The guitars feel very progressive metal, but it's very, the lyrics, it's just, they're all about like Iron Maiden, you know, a lot of like lore. There's a lot of like real battles from World War One, and so much of this is fantasy fiction.
Okay.
That it's ancient, like kings and queens and sorcerers, wizards, hobbits.
I'll help. Elven Dragon Slayer, 10-point power sword.
That's him.
Lots
That's
of
their
fantasy.
forte. Lots of fantasy.
Yeah. So this artwork's interesting.
That is Morgoth
Morgoth in the middle.
or Melkor, and that is Luthien. If you remember, Aragorn sings to the hobbits the story of Beren and Luthien, the man who falls in love with the elf maiden, and
That's an elf maiden spirit thing.
That's an elf maiden,
Okay.
and she dances for Melkor and goes in. And that wolf you see right there is Sauron, who takes the shape of a great wolf. And so those three little bright lights in Melkor's crown are the three Silmarils.
There's 3 total.
There are 3 total. Since the Silmarillion, that's what it is about. There were trees in the Garden of Eden, if you will, they had all of the light and beauty of the Valar and the beginning of creation. And Melkor and Morgoth brought Ungoliant, and they like destroyed the trees and sucked their energy up and brought ruin to everything. But previously, 3 gems had been instilled with the light from the trees, from good, and everyone in the whole Silmarillion covets them, and Melkor steals them and takes them away to his fortress.
Not very nice.
Nope.
All right. So the black one has fallen from the sky. Who's the black one? This is Sauron's line, right?
Sauron is saying that. Like, basically, I believe he's talking about Melkor there. That, like, there being, the evil has been trounced by good.
What's the significance of the places below?
So that's where, like, I mean, you see Durin's Bane awoken from the places of the deep when our good friend Pip chucks a bucket down a well. It's not exactly the same in the book, but
That's a different part.
A lot of the evil forces in the Silmarillion and Lord of the Rings like go into the deep places of the world and hide there. So like all the Balrogs end up, like Gothmog, the chieftain of the Balrogs, they hide in the deep. So like if they lose this battle, and they basically hole up in the cracks in the earth.
Nice.
And like there's like fortresses down under the mountains, and so that's where he's advising his lord Morgoth to hide in the deeps of the earth.
She, the mistress of her own lust. Is
Yes.
that just a personification of ruin?
No, I think that he's speaking of Ungoliant, because he's about to talk. The next song is about Ungoliant and Morgoth's desire for the Silmarillion, because he brought Ungoliant, Shelob's great-great-grandma, into the land of the Valar, and then they destroyed the trees together.
So spiders like shiny things too. It's not just for raccoons and dark lords. It's for big spider mamas.
Mm-hmm. Spider mamas, dark lords, elves.
These were
men,
really shiny things.
Goblins, everybody likes something sparkly.
Ooh, you must pass the dungeon wisdom test.
They're filled with the light of the trees, just like Frodo. You know, he has the light from the star that's been like bottled, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting that the light from the star scares away Shelob in the movies, but these lights, her great grandma or whatever wanted to
sucked it up from the light of the trees.
Oh, right. That's so nuts.
Super wicked.
Super metal, by the way. Give it to me. I must have it. Precious treasure. So that's definitely. I was waiting on pins and needles. So there is a Gollum connection in terms of the lyrics. It sounds like he's talking like Gollum, but is this just like lust for powerful things that kind of go through all ages?
They're almost spoken of like the ring is. The Silmarillion speaks of all that just love the Silmarils, love the light of the trees. It's just pure goodness.
Well, and it's interesting because in some like fantasy and stuff, the item of power amplifies what's already there. Like they said that for, Captain America.
Yeah.
The super soldier serum makes you more of what you already are, and you get really strong in that way. But this is like something that not even good people can overcome. I mean, the hobbits endured it for a long time, longer than
And there's many
other people could have.
good that weren't corrupted by the Silmarils, but there were massacres and there was infighting amongst the elves and very much corruption from the Silmarils, but they were still good, but pretty much all desired them, and not all in a good way.
Okay. This is your poli-sci class for the week. You'll get 100 if you quote this. All right.
That'll do well for you in the world.
This is important news to take out to everybody. Hello. Have you heard the story of the Silmarils? Huh?
Depending on who you're talking to.
But it's funny because there are a lot of non-Christians who really appreciate Lord of the Rings. They really like the story of good versus evil.
Yes,
a lot of people resonate with that anyway.
It's in them. It is built into them that they want to learn stories of good fighting evil, and for there to be hope in the world, and there to be love, and there to be battle and sorrow.
Yeah,
because that's what so much of life is. It has it's amplified in a story like this. So of course, so many unbelievers love this as well, because it also, you can take it too far. You could love this Christianly and go, what a wonderful representation of what good and evil and creation and corruption, and what a good way to see that and tell another story. You could take it too far and make that your life, and it take fantasy to make it, I am out of my life. I don't enjoy my life. So I just want to read. I want to escape, and I want to play. I want to watch. I just want to, this is a better world. This is a better time. I wish I was a knight in the olden days and I wore a frock and I defended fair maidens.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There, and I mean, thinking about power from a Christian perspective too. I mean, we know God has all the power. He gives the power.
Amen.
And I told the story in another video about Nebuchadnezzar. This man was made very powerful, and that was God's intention. Mm-hmm. But he also got way too big for his britches. He also got way too, enamored with his own skill and his own might and pride and everything. And then God humbled him pretty hard. So, there is a way that we can use it for godly means, or a way that we can use it for our own means, which ends up becoming corrupted. And it's interesting looking at it from the aspect of Christians' power and stuff like that.
That's everything that the Lord has given us can be used for good means and for ill means.
Yeah.
You can have a family and a lovely family, and that can be a blessing, and you overly invest everything you have in it. Everything should be put into the context of, how did God make us to live and enjoy his good and righteous gifts? And to see stories of good and evil and power and corruption and despair and redemption is to read that, to see that, to hear it, and to go, glory to God. What wonderful things that you have made on the earth, and we can recognize what is good there.
Yeah.
And glorify him.
I like it. That's why I like metal, because it's great and it can be used in bad ways or in righteous ways.
Just like everything else God made.
Yes, sir. All right. Anything else of
Unless
note
it was
here?
made out of after 2000, and then it can't be redeemed.
After the year 2000? Oh, I see what you did, but I don't like it.
No, I was kidding. Yeah, you can take that out of the video.
Yeah, it's not going to the video.
Everybody should go read more Tolkien.
And maybe also just listen to Blind Guardian if you want the cliff notes.
It's wonderful.
That's pretty dope.
Thanks, Blind Guardian.
Thanks, Blind Guardian.
Thanks, Tolkien.
All right. And thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The real metal vocals is just people grunting and screaming.
Stuff like that. Because, yeah, they literally go, they make disgusted noises. They're just disgusted. Or dying.
Metal. It's like the Goblin King.
How do I
burping up dead hobbits?
That sounded awful.
You gotta like hunch over your shoulders and
So I've heard it described like a sigh. And then you just get louder. No, like do a sigh. And then they change
sorry,
shapes.
It goes back to the right way all the time. Just like righteousness and darkness. The album we're going to look at is called
Says in very hard to read Elvish.
I knew it all day long.
Nightfall.
Nightfall in Middle Earth.
Nailed it.
So this is all history of Middle Earth before Frodo ever jumped into Gandalf's cart.
All right, then. Keep your secrets.
That look he does to Gandalf,
It was just...
it's so... He chortles.
That's good. He
Chortle's
does.
good, Nard.
That's a righteous chortle. Yeah, so...
That's Doug Wilson chortle.
Yeah. Yep.
Gandalf and Fellowship of the Ring
Yeah,
talking to
Gandalf does kind of surprise himself
Frodo.
sometimes.
That's why you got that mug for that bit.
And to make some people on the internet very mad at me. Whoops. He has said some good things, okay? We're not talking about him right now. Don't at me. So, what year is it? It's the year before they invented wireless technology. Wait, Melkor gets destroyed?
Mhm.
I thought he was like, well, okay.
I guess he was of the Valar, which he was one of the top tier angels, if you will, and you have the Maiar, like the Balrogs and the other like that level, not upper management, but like middle management. Melkor was just another one of the angels.
He was kind of like the devil, but in this story, the devil died, and now the assistant to the vice
Regional
regional
devil.
is now, yes.
If the devil were to explode and evil were gone forever, what sort of party would you have?
Okay, makes sense. I know the Silmarillion. I'm not going to spend $90 on a really nice looking book, even though I kind of want to.
Why would you do that? That'd be wild.
I don't know how much do they cost these days. I assume they're
$35 if you wait till Amazon Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that probably sounded like an endorsement. I unendorse that.
I endorse that. This is not a representation of our beliefs.
0.0000328% of the time.
True, but